A few things before we talk about the game. One, congratulations to Michael and Heather Fly. They had their third child yesterday. Heather's doing great. Jules, I cannot imagine. Fly's a really good dad. I can't imagine him being a girl dad, but it's going to be really fun to watch. And just want to say congratulations to them too. It was a really cool weekend, being an alumni weekend and having so many. I think we had, I want to say 5 or 6 generations of Florida State basketball players and coaches here in attendance. We had a great reception last night. These guys have been coming to practice. Our players have been getting to know them. And I think this weekend, both as a player, I always loved it because you get to know, all the former players. As a coach, when I was in the NBA, oftentimes I'd try to come back if it lined up with All-Star Weekend. And so I was a part of some of these alumni weekends. And then now as a coach of Florida State, it's just so special to see all these guys come back and pour into our guys and give back to this team. And then lastly, a quick shout out to the NABC for doing a great job with the Coaches versus Cancer. The suits and sneakers, all of these things, they're really gimmicks, but the cause is so cool to raise money and as much money, awareness too, just about the fight against cancer. I know everyone in this room has probably gone through some sort of either individual, personal, family, friend that's either battled cancer or lost a fight to cancer, which obviously is really tough. And for the NABC to put this on, I think has been really cool. I wore this suit, and I thought I got this suit made a couple weeks ago. And I grabbed it this morning and I put it on today, and it was pretty snug. And I'm like, I just got this like first time wearing it, and I checked the inside of it and I grabbed the wrong suit. This was a Steve Kerr suit when I was an intern that he handed down 4 suits because I didn't have any suits as an intern. And I am so lucky that it fits. Like, I couldn't button it. This was about 20 pounds ago. So I'm wearing a suit that doesn't even fit. But again, the cause in the NABC is a really cool idea they've done for a long time to raise money and raise awareness for cancer, research and funding. I'll open it up for questions. I won't comment on the game. You guys can ask away. Yeah, it was a tough game plan for our guys because we had about 5 different coverages for him. To me, he's probably the toughest cover in the ACC as a guard, and there's a lot of good guards in this league. But you saw it in the second half. He's so shifty. He can shoot it if you back up. If you pressure him, he's getting by you. He has every move in the book. To get to the foul line. To me, that kid's going to make a ton of money playing basketball at the next level. And so we had everything up our sleeve. We started the game in an all-out denial. We went away from that because that basically takes a help defender out of the rotation. They're getting wide open shots. So then we went to our normal 1 through 5 switching coverage. We threw a zone press at him. We threw a man press at him. We threw bodies at him. And to that kid's credit, he just kept coming, especially in the second half. First half, he obviously let the game come to him. His teammates were doing a good job making shots. But I tell you what, that kid is as good as they come in the country, especially for a freshman. Very, very impressive.
How encouraging is it that you joked that it was like a Leonard Hamilton game 3 nights ago? Well, this wasn't. It was 88-80. How encouraging is it that you're seeing you can win multiple ways now? It's not just going to be grinded out in a game of the season.
Yeah, I thought our defense was okay. It wasn't one of our best defensive nights. I thought our closeouts, especially on hot guys that we don't want to allow shoot threes, were a little soft at times. We didn't have a stick hand. But the intensity was there, and the discipline to follow the game plan was there. Offensively, it helps when your seniors show up. And to me, they've really done a good job keeping the game simple these last couple of weeks, even when shots don't fall. If you're open, shoot it. If not, either pass it or attack, and rinse and repeat. And when you attack, be strong, be a man. You guys are all 22, 23 years old. Get in there and attack the rim like you're at the park. And, to Chauncey's credit, to LeJay's credit, Rob's credit, even Kobe only played 16 minutes. He had 10 and 6 boards. When 3 out of those 4 play at a high level, we're going to have a chance to win every game. And to me, I thought all 4 of them did a really good job showing up. And that's where you see our offense kind of click. We attacked the rim, and we got to the foul line because of it. And you got to step up and make your foul shots. And, there's no secret sauce to winning. You just got to do your job every possession. And sometimes that job is to set a screen. Sometimes it's to roll. Sometimes to shake behind the play. Sometimes to attack. Sometimes to make a pass. And to their credit, they're keeping the game really, really simple right now. And because of it, you can be more aggressive when everything is simple and you don't think.
I know Kobe kind of got taken out of that starting lineup earlier this season. I know you kind of mentioned him a little bit earlier. He had 7 points early in the second half. Can you just speak on his performance and how his resolve as a player?
Yeah, Kobe's the ultimate team guy. Some guys, when you talk to him, and our starting line, we're gonna keep rolling with this for a bit, but it doesn't mean we're gonna roll with this for the rest of the season. That's part of coaching. That's part of being on a team. But Kobe is such a team guy. Sometimes when you have to address, especially a senior pulling someone out of the starting lineup, things can go sour really quickly. I mean, everyone has an ego. I have an ego. You have an ego. And he looked me in the eye and said, "Whatever you need to do, Coach, I'll be ready." And just doing that, and then showing up and doing his job at a high level. I think Kobe and Martin, to me, would start on a lot of teams. They could certainly start for us. They probably will start for us again at some point. But they're doing such a good job off the bench. Again, shots fall, shots don't fall. You got to show up and have an impact on the game. And tonight, I thought Kobe had a good impact on the game.
Coach, winning in the ACC is not easy, as you know. And you guys have won 2 in a row now, and you've lost some close games too. Would you say now the team's kind of figuring out how to win in the ACC?
I wouldn't go that far. I think we're figuring out how to show up and be consistent. And the wins and losses are a byproduct of your consistency. Before the game, and I normally don't do this because I try to get them to focus just on the present, just and they say the 10 toes, right? Be right where your toes are. But part of my pregame speech, I took basically, I think it was 10 teams. I took from Cal and Stanford sitting at 3 and 5, all the way down based on the results today, down to the last place teams at 2 and 7, and we were right above those at 2 and 6. And just said there's a great opportunity right now. We play most of these teams. And like I said after last game, every time you beat a team in this range, it's obviously a win for you and a loss for them. And we want to keep moving up this ladder. So it's a great opportunity anytime you play one of these games bunched into 1 or 2 losses within each other. And I think Cal and Stanford, they're really good teams. They have really good records for a reason. I have a lot of respect for Kyle Smith. He was at University of San Francisco when I was with Golden State. So I've watched his teams for a long time. He's a brilliant coach. His teams always, I would say, overperform, which is a sign of a good coach. But anytime you have an opportunity to fight in the standings against a team close to you, you got to take advantage of the opportunity. Every game's important. Every possession's important. But especially as we're sitting at 2 and 6, that is just black and white. We're not where we want to be. Now we're 3 and 6. Winning 2 in a row is nice, but that is not where we want to be. And so I think our guys understand this opportunity. These last 9 games, every single game has huge consequences on where we finish at the end of the year.
You talked about Chauncey being important to this ACC stretch, back-to-back games, just like the team is scoring. You guys won both games. Just how important has he been?
Yeah, when Chauncey plays well, we're a really tough team to beat, and you could say that about Rob and LeJay too. When you're 3 of your big guys, you need those guys to perform, and Chauncey has done such a good job. He's had a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, but such a good job recently being aggressive. And that's not just in scoring and shooting. That's all around. His defense is better. His rebounding is better. And obviously he has some confidence and call it what you want, some swag to his game right now. I'm older than a lot of these guys. I'm taller than a lot of these guys. I'm as skilled as anyone on the court. Let's go put that to use. And you see it in the production of Chauncey, and when Chauncey produces, our team's pretty good.
The last one from Corey. Yeah, Luke, I don't want to harp on something that happened 3 weeks ago that was a really bad, embarrassing loss.
But you're going to.
I'm about to. I'm not harping on it, but since that game, you played 6 games.
Yeah.
Really should be 4-2 in those 6 games, but all of them been close, all of them been competitive. I know you were embarrassed when you were talking to us after that NC State game. Did you feel that the players were embarrassed? And is that, can you just chalk it up to that, like them playing harder? Like what is flipped since that game?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Anytime you really get beat up, you can quit or you can get back to work and try not to get beat up again. And to me, it was less about the result of that game. They scored 113 points on us. It was embarrassing. I heard some boos. We really should have got vehemently booed off the court because that was a complete and utter embarrassment, that NC State game. And as a fan of Florida State, I wanted to boo our own team. And I'm sitting here as the head coach. It was embarrassing. But to me, it was less about the embarrassment and more about the why, right? Why did that happen? And how can we fix it? And again, to our guys' credit, when something like that happens, like I said, you have 2 options. You can quit or you can come together and improve. And they were like salivating to improve. And obviously our coaching staff, we had to reset a little bit of what we were working on, why we were working on it, and what actually leads to us, first and foremost, just being in competitive games. And then second to that, obviously now we're in the stage, we got to learn how to win close games. And we're still so far away from where we should be. But to me, it all goes back to, okay, how are we defending? How are we rebounding? And are we playing with a sense of urgency? And I think in those games, if you go watch those films, it was like a layup line on our hoop, and it was as if no one cared. And that's a recipe for disaster. So now we just work on rebounding every day. We work on our transition defense every day. We work on our shell defense every day. And if we don't get to shoot as much, that's fine, because at the end of the day, we weren't making shots anyways. And so we've concentrated on those things. I think our defense has improved, but also we've thought less about our offense. And to me, the guys are playing more freely on offense. Are we making shots the way I hoped we would at the beginning of the season? No. But you can still win games when you're not making shots, and that's what we've seen over these last few weeks.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.